Do you remember the first time you saw your actual paycheck? Not the offer letter. Not the salary they quoted you in the interview. The actual paycheck. The number that landed in your bank account. Jake remembers his. He was 23. He had just started his first real job after 2 years of searching. $38,000 a year. He had done the maths on the drive home from the interview. 38,000 divided by 12. That is $3,166 a month. He was already planning. Rent sorted, groceries, maybe a gym membership. Start putting $400 away every month. First payday came. His bank notification said $2,107. Jake sat with his phone in his hand and looked at that number for a long time. He checked the maths. He checked again. He Googled whether there had been some kind of mistake. There wasn't. Over $1,000 had quietly left his paycheck before he ever saw it, taken by a column of line items he did not recognize, using terms he had never been taught. FICA, OASDI, federal withholding, state tax. Nobody had ever explained what those words meant. Nobody had shown him a paycheck stub in school. Nobody had told him that the number they quote you in interviews is not the number that shows up in your account. He just felt, quietly, like he had missed something everyone else seemed to know. He hadn't missed anything. Nobody told him. Nobody tells most people. And today, finally, someone is going to. According to the National Financial Educators Council, 70% of young Americans say they were not taught how to read a paycheck or understand tax withholding before entering the workforce. 70%. Entering a system that will take a meaningful portion of everything they earn for the rest of their working lives, with no explanation of how it works or what, legally, they can do to influence it. So today, we fix that, line by line, in plain English. And then we go further, because there are legal moves, built into the tax code, that put real money back into your paycheck every single month. Moves your employer may offer right now that you have never been told about. And I want to be really clear before we start. This is not about dodging tax. It is not about anything shady. Every single move in this video is legal, above board, and actively encouraged by the U.S. tax code. You are simply going to learn what already exists and start using it. Let's take Jake's paycheck and decode every single line. Gross pay, $3,166. This is your salary divided by your number of pay periods. It is the number they quoted you. And it is where the confusion begins, because almost everything that follows reduces it before you see a penny. Federal income tax. This is money withheld by your employer on behalf of the IRS, a prepayment of your annual tax bill, taken a little at a time each pay period. For Jake's income, roughly $38,000, federal income tax withheld lands around $280 to $320 per month, depending on how he filled in his W-4. More on the W-4 in a moment, because it is the single most misunderstood document in employment, and getting it right can change how much you take home every month. State income tax. Varies significantly by where you live. 9 states currently have no income tax. Texas, Florida, Washington, Nevada, Wyoming, South Dakota, Alaska, New Hampshire, and Tennessee. If you live in California or New York, your state takes between 6 and 10% depending on your income. FICA, which stands for Federal Insurance Contributions Act. This covers 2 things. Social Security, 6.2% of your gross pay, up to an annual income cap of $176,100 in 2025. This funds the Social Security Retirement Program. Medicare, 1.45% of your gross pay, with no income cap. Funds the federal healthcare program for people over 65. Together, Social Security and Medicare are called FICA. They take 7.65% of your gross pay from every paycheck. For Jake, that is $242 a month, $2,904 a year, before he makes a single choice. Then health insurance premiums, dental, vision. If your employer offers coverage and you have enrolled, those come out here too. What remains is your net pay, your actual take-home. For Jake, $2,107 out of $3,166. He keeps 66 cents of every gross dollar earned, 66 cents on the dollar, before rent, before groceries, before anything. The salary was $38,000. The take-home was $25,284. That $12,716 gap, the gap nobody explained, is where confusion, resentment, and poor financial planning all begin. Once you see it clearly, everything else makes more sense. Now here is the first place you have real control, and most people never use it because nobody explained that it exists. When you started your job, you filled in a W-4 form. It told your employer how much federal income tax to withhold from each paycheck. Most people fill it in on their first day, quickly, nervously, unsure what the questions mean, and never look at it again. But here is what that means in practice. If your W-4 is set incorrectly, you could be withholding too much, essentially giving the government an interest-free loan all year, which they return to you in April as a refund. The average U.S. tax refund in 2024 was approximately $3,000. That sounds like a bonus. It is not a bonus. It is your own money, taken from your paychecks in excess, returned without interest after 12 months. $3,000 divided by 12 months is $250 a month. $250 a month that could have been in your account earning 4.5% interest, instead of sitting in the government's account earning you nothing. The IRS offers a free withholding estimator at irs.gov. It takes 10 minutes to use. It tells you exactly how to adjust your W-4 to get as close to a zero refund as possible, meaning your money stays in your paycheck instead of leaving and returning annually. $250 a month, sitting in a government account, returned to you in April with no interest. The government does not offer you that same deal when you owe them money. They charge penalties and interest. The withholding system is not designed to be fair. It is designed to ensure collection. Adjusting it is legal, simple, and takes 10 minutes. And now the part that, when I first understood it, genuinely made me angry that nobody had explained it earlier. The pre-tax moves that reduce how much of your gross pay gets taxed in the first place. Pre-tax move 1. Your 401k contribution. Every dollar you contribute to a traditional 401k is deducted from your taxable income before federal and state tax is calculated. In practice, Jake earns $38,000. If he contributes 5% to a traditional 401k, that is $1,900 per year moved into his retirement account before tax is applied. His taxable income drops to $36,100. He pays income tax on $36,100 instead of $38,000. The tax saving on that $1,900, at his bracket, is approximately $200 to $380 per year. The government effectively subsidizes a portion of his retirement savings. He contributed $1,900, and the actual reduction in take-home pay was closer to $1,500. Pre-tax move 2. A flexible spending account or health savings account. If your employer offers an FSA or HSA, these accounts let you set aside pre-tax money for qualified healthcare costs. Dental, eye tests, prescriptions. Things you were going to spend money on anyway, now paid with pre-tax dollars, reducing your taxable income by the same amount. The FSA contribution limit for 2025 is $3,050. If Jake contributes $1,000, he reduces his taxable income by a further $1,000 and saves approximately $120 in federal income tax on money he was going to spend on healthcare regardless. Pre-tax move 3. Commuter benefits. Many employers offer pre-tax transit and parking benefits, allowing you to pay for your commute with pre-tax dollars up to $315 per month in 2025. If you spend $150 a month on public transport, running that through a pre-tax benefit saves you approximately $300 to $500 per year in tax, on money you were spending anyway. 401k contribution, FSA, commuter benefits. 3 pre-tax moves. Combined, Jake could legally reduce his taxable income by $3,000 to $4,000 per year. His tax bill drops by $400 to $700 annually, on money he was either already spending or saving for his future regardless. The tax code built these tools specifically to encourage this behavior. Using them is not a workaround. It is the intended use. Sophie adjusted her W-4 last year using the IRS estimator. She stopped getting a $2,800 refund in April and started getting $233 extra per month instead. She put that $233 directly into her high-yield savings account the day it arrived. Emma enrolled in her employer's FSA for the first time. She contributes $800 a year, pays for her dental appointments and prescriptions with pre-tax money, saves approximately $100 in federal income tax. On a budget this tight, $100 is a week of groceries. Neither of them got a raise. Neither of them found a side hustle. They both spent one Saturday afternoon understanding their paycheck, and it paid them, in real money, for the rest of the year. Start today. Pull up your most recent paycheck stub through your employer's HR portal or the paper version if you have it. Find the gross pay line and the net pay line. Calculate the gap. That gap, the money that left before you saw it, is what we just decoded. Then go to your employer's benefits portal and check. Does a 401k match exist? Does an FSA option exist? Does a commuter benefit exist? You may have free money and tax savings available right now. Today is the day you find out. Jake's $38,000 was always $38,000. What changed was how much of it he kept. He still pays every tax he legally owes, every single dollar required. But he now knows exactly which dollars those are, and which ones were never required to leave in the first place. That knowledge, right there, is worth more than most pay rises. And you now have it. We've now covered 6 videos, 6 systems decoded. Credit scores, inflation, banking, the right order for your money, and the paycheck they never explained. Next, we are going after the concept that quietly decides whether everything you build compounds and grows, or quietly shrinks. Compound interest. Both sides of it, how it builds wealth when you invest, and how it dismantles it when you carry the wrong kind of debt. 2 forces, same mechanism, opposite directions. That one is next. Quick note before you go. Everything in this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. All statistics come from verified public sources including National Financial Educators Council survey data, IRS FICA tax rates, and FSA HSA limits 2025, IRS commuter benefits 2025, IRS W-4 withholding estimator, Smart Asset Paycheck Calculator, Federal Reserve Average Tax Refund Data 2024. For advice specific to your own situation, please speak to a qualified financial advisor.